note before we start, you can find all links and resources discussed in the video description, and please use them to support us. Please also comment, share your opinions and ask any questions. Thank you and enjoy.
Hello guys, I'm Abhishek Singla and I am the president for South Asian Student Society based in Gdansk. And we have with us Dr. Fasi over here from Germany, and he'll be helping us with the Germany webinar and all the details and questions that you need. You can write all the questions that you have in the chat box and we'll get to them at the end of the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abhishek, for having me on your platform. So I would not like to waste any time and get directly to the presentation. Let me get started. For people who don't know me, my name is Dr. Fashihul Hassan. I run a blog named Dr. Fasi, a small blog for helping people out in Poland who study in Poland or want to study in Poland or is been graduated from Poland. So this presentation is about the pathway or as the roadmap from Poland to Germany. Anyone, any question, please post in our chat. Let's go forward. So let's talk about a little bit very brief about Germany. What's the population would have been? Around 84 million is the population of the Germany. And the economy is also very big, as we all know. It's the largest economy in EU and the 5th largest in the world, which is a very high GDP. Per capita income is quite good, 18th highest in the world. And with that, you can say, yeah, your lifestyle would not be bad here. Geographically, we have 16 states, which call in Germany Bundesland. That's all for now for Germany. Let's move forward to the medical journey. In Poland, obviously you start in Poland, you join the Poland in September, October, 6-year program. Your university goes for 6 years. Some people also do for 4th year, depends on the program you are in, but most of us, like 95% of us are in 6-year program. Then comes after that, you have to do internship, which call in Polish Staż, or you have to recognize its equivalence, or if you do in Poland, it's already recognized. If you don't do in Poland, you have to get it recognized. Usually it is 13 months in Poland, in Polish. If you do it in English, it is 6 months long, which we usually call ED Staż. A lot of you are familiar if you are in 5th or 6th year. Younger years, most probably they're not that familiar with the system, but here you go, a little bit overview. If you want to do it in somewhere else and get it recognized in Poland, I always recommend everyone to do it in EU or EA country, which means any EU country, Norway, Switzerland, and so on as EA countries. Usually you have to do 12 or 13 months. Why I'm saying 12 or 13 months? Because Poland asks you to do 12 months with 1 month of holidays, which is 13 months, but 12 months also is okay if you have certificates saying you have done 12 months in any hospital as a training, as an observership. That all works. They usually recognize it, even above and beyond. Sometime there's a lot of exceptions. There's a lot of nitty-gritties. Going forward to it, there's always a special recognition. There's a lot of people don't know about if they're studying in Poland. Is if you do your 6th year somewhere else in EU or EEA, they can also get recognized as a full internship. I'll talk about it a little bit later, or you can ask me if you have interest to know more about it. These things are a little bit complicated in sense they all are based on the exceptions, and the law passed in 2020, July and August. So they all have a little bit of exceptions and fine details that has to be talked about, which we will not go into detail, but a little bit overview only here today in this perspective. And also you have to do an exam which is called LEC. It's a final medical exam conducted by CEM, Center of Medical Education, and conducted twice in a year, once in February and once in September. Let's go about the regulations that you need to know before even thinking about Germany. As we all know, Germans love bureaucracy, and they also like to be on the side of the following regulation than other way. As we might not know or may might know, EU has one system. They have guidelines, and EU has made in 2005 a guideline saying automatic recognition of all controlled professions, for example, medicine, dentistry, nursery, and architect, being lawyer, so on. From that is the regulation is called 2005-36 EC, It was last updated this year, 3rd of March 2024. It get updated very frequently after 6 months or 12 months, sometimes also years goes by. But nowadays the updates are coming quite fast than before. The special thing that interests us in this regulation is 5.1.1 of the Annex 5, which states you have to have from Poland. If you're studying in Poland, you have to have a diploma which titles lekarza, so it is like titled as a MD. You have to have a LEC as a certificate, that is you get it after passing the LEC from CEM in 1 month. And then you have to have something called Staż po diploma, so a certificate saying you have done Staż in Poland, or Poland has recognized your Staż outside of Poland. So going forward, let's talk about a little bit of a LEC. What is it? So it's an exam, consists of 200 questions. From that, good part is in 2020, the new law has been passed, which states 70% of the question from this 200 has to be from this database, which is a CM database. Around 2200 questions are there. If you learn them, the questions come copy pasted with the same sequence of answers. That means if you actually learn them really good, it's really easy to pass this exam. People are getting easily 80-90% also, who has done the old questions. The CM database, which is actually 200 questions, not that much. And good part about this exam is that the cutoff is 56%, means you need to only know 112 questions out of 200, and also mentioning 140 questions are old question, exactly copy pasted without changing the even sequence of the answers. It's quite easy to pass the exam. If you want to read about more about the exam and what is the exam is and which subject, which area of subject get how many questions, and like for example, how many questions are coming from the surgery, internal medicine, pediatrics, you can read about that on my website. The link is there. You can also just Google the LEC exam and you'll get there usually, or just Google Dr Fasi and you will be there on the website. So as I explained, conducted twice a year. February, for February deadline to apply is usually 15th of November, not usually, actually always same. Only time that has been changed was in the pandemic, but now before now it is always 15th of November for February's exam, and the September, which is the next exam, is the deadline is 15th of July. So most of the people who are graduating now would be able to do the exam. Also, this exam you can do after completing 10th semester. That means if you have completed your 5th year successfully, you can also do it in September before starting the 6th year. So it means you can do after 5th year anytime. There's no limit. You can do as many times as you like. You can improve your score if you like to do, but for us who is not going to stay in Poland, the score doesn't really matter. You have to just pass. That's all it matters. For that also, you can also look at my website. If you how to apply for this, there's a very detailed guide how to apply for it. You can also just search on the Google and you will get to that. It will be the first or second link usually. Let's talk about a little bit of the Staż. Obviously, it is an internship. I will always call it Staż because it's easier if you're in a Polish context to call it what it is. 3 to 4 ways to go about it. As I explained before, one easiest one is if you know Polish, you can do 13 months in Poland. There used to be exception. There is still an exception. If you are a EU or EEA citizen, you can do LEC in Polish, and then you are automatically eligible for doing Staż in Polish, which means you don't have to do any medical language exam in Polish with Supreme Medical Council of Poland, which is in Warsaw. But that only exists for the people who are citizens of EU or EEA, this exception. Or you can do another thing, a 6-month internship in Poland, which would be in English. Usually it is paid anywhere from 25,000 to even crazy amount of 70,000 for only 6 months. Being in a hospital and looking at the patient. I find it 70,000 a steep cost and too much for having a 6 months of a Staż. In my opinion, it should have been free, if not paid. Next, one thing that I explained it before, I will tell you again once more. You can do also 12 to 13 months anywhere in any hospital setting, even in the GP office. Doesn't matter which rotation you do. Ideally, you should do the rotation how it should be in Poland. But in my experience, guiding at least 200 people in last 1.5 to 2 years, doesn't matter what rotation you have done, you will get recognized if you have done it in EU at least 12 months. And if you send the papers to the Ministry of Health in Poland, they usually recognize it. Because if you do it in EU, The papers has been checked only by the bureaucrats and not by the panel, and bureaucrats are more forgiving than the panel. What about the special recognition? This is like very briefly said. You have to do your whole 6th year, so it means 9 months almost, in one of the EU or EA countries, and also most of your summer internship in any of the EU country. It doesn't have to be the same EU country or EA country. It can be any, but it cannot be in Poland. It means 9 months you have already done. If you have done 3 more summer internship of one month, usually are 12 months completed, and if it's recognized by your university, which it should be, and it is, then Ministry of Health sees that time as a full internship and recognize as a Staż. This is one of the way you can save your time and also learn your skills in the language that you like to do. In this case, maybe in German. Also, you can do it in Malta in English also, or Ireland in English, if it's possible and if you can arrange it. Usually in this Ireland and Malta, they ask you to pay a little bit of money. Depends on which university it is. Let's talk about the requirements. Let's get to our topic that we need to discuss here. Requirements Germany. As I explained, there's EU guidelines of automatic recognition. The requirement will be based on that. So main requirements are 3 things from these guidelines. First, 3 things will be diploma, internship, and having a certificate. This is the 3 things. Then you need to know German as a language, which is the most important and key part after completing with the education in Poland. Has to be at least B2 level of German, normal German, day-to-day German that you talk. Yeah, and then eventually when you apply for it, you can do also an exam for medical German, which is usually B2 C1 they say, but now most of the places, most of the states of Germany, they are asking it to be C1. So medical German is C1. Please ask me if it's how to prepare and not prepare and how difficult it is. That I will answer based on your questions. I want this interaction, this webinar to be more interactive than just someone talking and telling you what to do. So let's talk a little about the language, elaborating on it. What do you mean by general language? It is a day-to-day, what you speak on the day normal. It has to be B2. What is CEFR? It's a common European framework for recognizing any language. Most of you maybe know about it. If you don't know, just Google it, you will know about it. It's just a system they have set in the EU how to evaluate the language level. So it's a B2 level. It's not that difficult. It's not that easy. It's somewhere in mid, I will say, level is a good level. Resources for this, online schools. Back in time, I think that not used to be a lot of online materials or online schools, but thanks to, or unfortunately, maybe you can say anyway, due to the COVID, after that, we have so many online schools. It's very easy to find one. Just Google and you have one. Obviously, YouTube is also always a thing that you should always look for any kind of language learning. It's going to always help you. There's so many content creators who's making videos, clearing you some things. I have done myself or some of them, practicing exams on them. They have so many exams to practice also. One thing is that is Deutsche Welle. Deutsche Welle is German government-sponsored TV / news agency. They have also a program to teach you German. They have some videos where you can do some interactive videos to do that, and also social media and the many blogs that exist on the internet could be also used smartly to this. So let's do it. And what kind of exams you need to do, or where can you do it actually? It's a B2 exam, the general exam. Most of the country has Goethe Institute where you can do the exam. I do not know any country who does not have it. If they don't have it, they have a nearby country, most probably neighboring country who has this institute where you can do it, and they have quite often exams. Second is TELC. Usually it is in European space, but it also have a center outside the EU. A lot of countries, but not all of the countries. So Goethe will be the primary if you're not in EU countries. Some other exams that exist that also conducted in a lot of the places in the world is Staż. It's quite different exam. It's one exam we can make you, it grades you B2, C1, C2. So maybe if someone is C1, it's better to do Staż, because at least you will get B2, if not C1. And if you see in C1, anyways, is better. So let's talk about the medical language exam that we talked about. We call it FSP, which is Fachsprachprüfung, literally translated into the medical language exam. One thing is about that, I have never seen any provider which provides outside the Germany this exam. Never. So you have to really travel to Germany to do the exam. Mostly you do this exam at the Ärztekammer. What is Ärztekammer? Ärztekammer is a medical chamber or association. They are not the council. They are only the association. You do with them, and with them only you can do once you apply for the license and everything checked out to be right. It means once you get the green light from the council, then only you can do the exam. But last 1 or 2 years, we have seen new providers popping up with very good attractive offers. So TELC was always there, but was only valid in few states. I think 1 to 2 to 3. Depends on the year to year, because really they change a lot, they vary a lot. And there's some more specific private providers. One would stand out is a FAMED, so FAMED. Now slowly they're getting more and more state get recognized. So means right now we have at least 3 to 4 states that recognizes this exam. It means if you pass, you will be okay, and they will be recognized as a medical language level. Why I'm even discussing this TELC and FAMED? Because for that you only need a B2 certificate, and you do not need a green light from medical council. So it means you can finish these exams even before applying to the medical council for your license. A license in Germany called Approbation. Just as I said, there's 2 different agencies involved in the licensing. One is Landesprüfungsamt. Usually you can translate into state medical department, or state, how do you call it, not medical per se, but is a like exam department. Usually it's called as a medical department. Every state has its own. Sometimes 2 states has, 1 state has many, sometimes depends on how big the state is in Germany. 16 states are there in Germany, so at least it has to be 16. Then there is Ärztekammer that I explained before, is a medical association. The jurisdiction is to do the exam and also your specialization control. So it means the specialization that you do, the exams is conducted by them and also recognized by them and given certificate for working from this association. So let's say going forward about this, which medical council is responsible for you, because there is not a central system in Germany. Every state has its autonomy to do however they like to do based on obviously a federal structure. So it really depends on where you live in Germany. So it means before even you apply in Germany for your license, you have to be present in Germany, except 1 or 2 situations. I will explain you how. Or the state you intend to work. So they ask you a letter of intent. You have to just write a normal simple letter explaining why you want to work in the state. That also usually works. Or when you get an approval from some authority, usually it is a federal employment authority. They usually give you can apply to them, because some of the states are really suffering for huge doctors shortage. So they give you approval. Yeah, they say, yeah, you want to work in the state, and then the medical council accept your application, even if you're not in Germany. That's the only case when you can submit your application without being in Germany. So that was about the authorities and licensing. I didn't go in detail how to apply for license, because it's a topic which has to be discussed in very detail. I can give you a 1 hour webinar only on how to apply for it. So basic thing is that you have to have 3 things: diploma, LEC, and Staż, or Staż certificate. It means recognition if you have done somewhere else. And then you have to have a B2 language certificate. And if you like to have, then you can have actually also do this medical language exam from one of the private provider. And if you submit all of them, then you get your license. Details or like very in-depth detail you can always find on their websites. Just search Approbation, for example, Berlin. So, and sometimes they are also in English. Very rarely, but 1 of our 2 state has some information in English also. Let's talk about the residency. How does it look like in Germany? So residency You call assistant arts, so assistant doctor, which make no sense. Nowadays, this term is fading away, and we call it Arts in Weiterbildung. This is like doctor in training. Literally, that's what it translates into. Usually, it is 5 to 6 years. It could last till 8 years, depends on you. 5 years usually for internal medicine, ophthalmology, some surgical departments. GP, 6 years usually directly run through program, for example, becoming a gastroenterologist, neurosurgeon, cardiac surgeon, or cardiologist, for example. 8 years, what I mean by 8 years, so you can do in Germany like that. 5 years you do, let's say, internal medicine, and then you want to specialize in, so for example, gastroenterology. So you do 3 more years in gastroenterology, so you become internal medicine, and then also gastroenterologist. That it takes 8 years, or you can just do in 6 years, but then you'll be internal medicine and gastroenterologist, which is somehow different than being internal medicine and big end gastroenterologist. It's a little bit a very confusing system. That's how even Germans sometimes don't understand why it is. And okay, and like many other European countries, it is a work-based training. So it means it is a work which you do, and doing the work, you learn the system and you learn how to treat the patient. How many exams? So just one exams. So the one exam at the end of the whole training. And it is also competence-based training. So it means you got a booklet, like how you get in Poland. So it gets signed after each rotation. You get a certificate from your work, and then you submit that to the Ärztekammer, which is a medical chamber. Once they check it, if they're satisfied with the rotations and everything, then they say, okay, you can do the exam. You book an appointment, you do the exam with them. Once you pass them, then you are a specialist, which called in Germany Facharzt, how it says that here, Facharzt. Let's talk about the work culture. So if I'm being honest, the work culture is not like Scandinavia. As you know, in Germany is a kind of hardworking country in sense they work quite a lot. So it depends also where you're working. More ambitious people, if they want to do research and stuff like that, they usually join university hospitals. There, the work-life balance is a little bit not that good, or like not as appropriate as it should be in other places. And it gets better the moment you go from the list down. So it means university hospital would have the worst work-life balance. So it means you will be doing overtimes like 1 hour, 2 hour extra every day, or at least half an hour. General hospitals usually are better, depends how big they are and where they're located. So usually the big city hospital has enough doctors. So there is there the work-life balance is better. So obviously it is difficult to get into these hospitals. And the best work-life balance would always be rehab centers of the hospital. So it means they are for rehabilitations. For example, if someone gets a heart attack, they go to rehabilitation. Someone get a stroke, they go to rehabilitation. This is also the hospitals, but they are not acute patients. So it means you always go on time, sometimes even early than you're supposed to go. And I have never heard a rehab doctor saying they have too much work. And also, if you want to start a work in Germany, being non-native speaker, is always recommended to do an observership in the smallest hospital somewhere to get your German polished. If you get B2 certificate, if you pass your medical German exam, it does not guarantee that you actually speak that level. It means, yeah, you know the level, but as any language learner will say, you really need time to practice and use that language for at least 3 to 6 months to get some pace on it. So some command on it. And some command, I'm saying, being perfect takes years anyways in any language, especially German, because it's not very easy language. It's not very difficult language, but it's not very easy language either. But it's doable. Most of my friends have done it. I have done it 6 to 12 months. You can start in your 5th year. You have time. You can slowly do it, and through the 6th year, you will be done with it. So I will say, even if you do slow pace, 5th year you're starting is a good time. I would recommend. Let's talk about how it is hierarchy in Germany. So in Germany, U has 2 forms. One is a formal and one is informal. A lot of languages have it, and a lot of Indo-Germanic language have it. So it depends where you are. University and big hospital hierarchy is very steep. It means you have to respect your seniors. I mean, senior means not your not the resident, but your consultant, or you call it attending. So you have to call them as a respected you and not the normal one that you use with your friends and so. And with the rehab centers in a smaller hospital is quite flat. So there's a lot of advantage in working in rehab, but thing is that if you're very ambitious, if you want to have a career to be developed in very advanced medicine, then eventually you have to switch to the bigger hospitals, because a small hospital cannot do everything. And it's rightly so. In most of the countries also like that, tertiary hospitals are made for being a tertiary hospital, so they can provide the highest level of medicine. Let's talk about the salary. This is not bad compared to any country in the Europe, to be honest. Even if you're comparing with the Scandinavian country, it's very competitive salary. So let's talk about the university hospital. As I explained, university also does not pay as attractive as it would be paid by the general normal big hospital or private hospitals. Private hospitals will be paying most. There's a three biggest private hospital, 3 or 4. One would be Helios, one would be Asclepios, and third will be Zana. And there's another ones also, Mediclinic and so forth and so on. They all pay more than university and general hospitals. General hospital means usually district hospitals. So how much you work per week? So as contract, you are allowed, you are supposed to work 42 hours, but you always do a little bit of overtime. Only I think in a very big university hospital, when they have enough doctor, maybe enough, more than enough doctor, maybe not. But I have not known any university hospital where you don't do overtime. How does it look for 42-hour work week? So maybe a little bit explaining. So A1, the Ort 1, so A1, this is for residence. This is for specialist. This is for attending doctor. And this is a head attending doctor. So it's just under the head of the department. This is a first year salary. This is a before taxes. After taxes, it would be around 3,000. First year. This is second year. This is third year, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So this is your salary, and this is our, and this progresses automatically based on which year are you in. This is a specialist. So this is first year. After 3 years of experience, means fourth year. 3 more experience, 7th year. 3 more 10th year. 3 more 13th, 14th year, and then 17th year. Same with this. They progress every 3 years. This also progress every 3 years. So this is the university hospital salary. This is if you calculate on 40-hour basis, is the lowest you will get paid in Germany. But still, it's not a bad salary. I'm pretty sure you will be saving a lot of money. Easily 1,500 euros to 2,000 euros. 1,500, you have to, I mean, it does depend on your lifestyle differently, but 1,500 should be saved. Because this is the basic salaries. Again, repeating, this basic salary means 3,000 is coming in your bank account. But you also do night duties and so on and so forth. So 3,600 to 4,000 it could be. Also you do weekend duties. So it gets really fast up. So 3,500 to 4,000 in between first year salary I can expect. Other general hospital means district hospital, it is usually a little bit higher because 40 hours. Maybe looking a little bit less, but it's more because it's only 40 hours. And again, same. So this is the first year of residency, second year of residency, third year of residency, fourth, fifth, and sixth. And this is specialist, and this is your being attending doctor, and this is being head attending doctor. This all you can find on the internet very easily. Like really, if you even search in English, you can get it. If not, just translate the word salary in Google Translator, put as and doctor also, and then you will get the salary. Its tables are always available in the Google even image. So how to look for the job? Unfortunately, there's no such central system, but there's easy way to go. There's one good website. This is a doctor magazine website. You can go there. A lot of university hospital, a lot of big hospitals publish their advertisement there. I mean, every time I see there's 300 to 400 residency spots are there. But this is not the only way. Just go directly to the hospital website. Check the hospital website. Sometimes they publish there. Even if they don't publish, just email them. Email the department usually Every department has their email address there. Secretary email address will be there. So submit your application, CV, and your diploma, and your, for example, if you're doing hospital, you want to do hospitation, so most probably you do not have your license. So just say that you want to do hospitation. Most of them are willing to do it, to be honest, because even you being there is helpful for them. We have a huge doctor shortage, as in most of the Western countries nowadays, or even most of the world. So I will recommend just applying in your region, wherever you are, or wherever you choose to go, and choose wisely where you want to go, because some of the states, the medical councils are slow, some of them are fast. That you need to find out by asking some people, or maybe just message me on my Instagram, or just on my email them, or go on my website. You can find every detail of my social media and so on. Or you can also look through agencies, which I never recommend, because I do not see a reason why you should. The hospital who's using the agency is one of the hospitals which not getting enough doctors, because they have to pay quite hefty amount, 10 to 15,000 euros. And if they are paying this much, that means most of them, either they are like mediocre place, or they are in village somewhere, or like very small place. But one good part about the using agency is this: if you want to come to Germany and learn the language here, and do B2 here, and so medical language exam and so forth, they usually sponsor everything. So normally for German visa, you have to block some amount if you don't have a job offer. For example, right now, 11,000 to 12,000 euros, which you get every month back. So like installment of 900 euros back once you arrive in Germany. And also these courses cost a lot of money, but German government want to help everyone. So they finance all of the courses also, which if you do through the agencies are very used to doing this procedure. They get the finance. You don't pay anything to the agencies, nothing. It's free. They get you the sponsorships. It means you don't have to block your money. You come to Germany, you do your language, you do a language exam, you apply for your license, which also they help you with. Then you get your license, which also they, I think, pay for the exam. And also they set you up with the interviews with the different places, and you can choose one of their places. So it means from their pool of the hospitals. Depends on which department you want to do. It's very attractive if you want to do it in Germany. It's not bad per se. Financially saying it makes somewhat sense, but still I always avoid using any agencies or anybody. There's a lot of free materials to guide you through if you really want to get through the system. But yeah, it's quite helpful. It costs you less because government sponsors you through these agencies, and at the end of the day, you don't pay these agencies anything, like nothing literally. Most of them, if someone is asking for money, then don't use them, simple. Because there's so many of them that if you graduate, they're actually looking for you to come and say yes to them and join their batches to do language courses. So let's go forward. Very brief of a visa, because visa is a very extensive topic. Depends on your nationality. Most probably, if you're a EU citizen, you don't even need it. But if you're not, you need it. And it depends on which country you are coming from. Just check your embassy website. They always have very in-depth information about it. But once you get a job, you usually get a blue card, which is like equivalent of green card of US, but blue because European Union has a blue flag. It is a temporary card. You get it if you work in one of the professions that they recognize. Usually it is a department of like mathematics, medicine, and science departments. Now they changed the law recently, and it made it more liberal. Before, the cap for salary used to be very high, but it has been decreased. So it means every doctor who comes to Germany gets a blue card. Why I'm explaining this? Because blue card has a lot of advantages if you come to Germany. Some of them are, if you're interested in getting permanent residency and I don't want to go to get the visa or this temporary residence card all the time get renewed, then as a blue card holder, and if you know at least B2 language, which all of you know, you can get just after 21 months, which is even less than 2 years. So 1 year, 9 months. you can get it. Usually you get it in a few months. Depends on the city. If you live in big cities like Berlin, then waiting period is quite high to get an appointment. If you live in small city, usually you get done it in 1 month, to be honest. Also, if interest you, Germany changed the law for naturalization this year. It's getting implemented in 1 month. So if you have a C1 German and you are highly integrated and you do some good jobs, some like doctors or you're a volunteer, so you can even get it after 3 years of working. Just to clarify, for permanent residency or naturalization, it means citizenship application, your time as a language student does not count. Other than that, everything else counted. So once you get it, everything is done. You are in Germany now, looking for the house. How is it? So like every other European country, Western European country, it's quite difficult. Market is quite there's not that many houses, but there's a many type of houses that you can get. One is WG. WG is Wohngemeinschaft, which means shared places. So 2 or 3 people live together, students, working people. Is very common. Most of the students don't live in here hostels or dorm. They usually do this kind of arrangement. So it's normal apartment, living in a normal housing. Like say 2 rooms are there. One is you and another is another one. So where can you look for them? This is a few recommendation. WG is the biggest one where people post these places. Kleinanzeiger is like used to be German eBay. So now it's only called Kleinanzeiger. Before it used to be called eBay Kleinanzeiger. So now is that, and Facebook is always a good place also. Still, I mean, in Germany, if you want to look for the places, means join the expat community, join student community. They usually post, and expat community actually try to help you also because some of them don't speak German, so it's easy for them to post on expat community than otherwise. Every city has the expat community page on Facebook, or you can just get it to your apartment. So for that, where would you look? So this is another. So other than Kleinanzeigen on Facebook, you can also look at the Boolean Scout. Is also a website to look for the houses, and depends on the city. It varies how expensive it is. So sharing, it could be anywhere 300 to even 700-800, depends on the place and how fancy and how not fancy it is. Your place can be anywhere from 400-500 to, there's no upper limit actually, depends on the big. So if you're living for one person, I can say 1,200-1,500 should be the upper limit. From anywhere 400 to 1,200, I'm saying. Yeah, and obviously big city has, it will be expensive, small city, it will be okay. That was all from my side, and thank you so much for hearing. Let's take any questions if there are. I will be checking now. Let's check, how does it look? Yeah, it does apply to dentistry students also, because this guideline that I have mentioned, 2005-36 EC, also applies to a student who is doing anything, dentistry, and also being nursing, and any control professions. And also for dentistry, just very short diploma, LEDK, so is a leg equivalent of dentistry, and also your internship you have to have. Staż for dentistry is just shorter, but there is also possibility to get time doing your study recognized as such. Yeah, just as mentioned, you can get recognized. Okay. Thank you, Samuel. He has answered quite a few of them queries already. Oh, how much does the ED Staż cost? Pay? No, they don't pay. You have to pay. And usually it depends on your university. Some of them are cheaper, some of them are very expensive. The cheapest I know from personally, so I am from Gdansk Medical University of Gdansk. As far as I know, they are the cheapest one. So like 25,000 right now. Current price, I don't know, but it was around 25,000. The most expensive one is laughingly expensive one actually. Sorry, it is like that, 70-something thousand in Lublin. I never understood why. So yeah. Warsaw is around 35,000-36,000. Current prices you can check on the website, or you can ask the dean's office. Usually, according to the regulation, you have to do in your own university, but sometimes they are very flexible about it. The Ministry of Health is very flexible about it, because at the end of the 6 months Staż, The ED Staż, the university, or you have to apply to the Ministry of Health and they have to recognize it. Can I do training in Germany? Yeah, I mean, you can do the, I mean, if you mean training as an internship, then yeah, you can do that in Germany, but the pathway is not that straightforward. First of all, you have to know the language. So if you know the language, there's a way to go about it. Just email any hospital. Some of them actually know about this problem from Poland. This problem didn't exist before 2019. From 2019 on, this problem exists because Germany got to know that there's something like STARS exists in Poland, and you need to do. There's a whole background of the story why it is happening like that. You can do in Germany, but it's very difficult to arrange it, especially all the rotations. But as my experience says, you can also do it just in one department and it's all good. No, yeah, some people actually collecting anyways. Does a 12-month stage in Germany is complicated because you have no full approbation a doctor in Germany, and so mostly hospital in Germany have no idea to do. Yeah, it is like that, but believe me, it's not that complicated. I have guided many people as soon as this actually day for yesterday. One of the student has actually done his 12 months and also got recognized to the Ministry of Health, and he did not do all the rotation as it states in a new guideline from last year in March. So he just did 12 months in different department as he'd like to do. Okay, a lot of the questions are around how much you have to pay for this ED Staż. In dentistry, does it have to be hospital? No, it doesn't have to be hospital. It could be also in the private clinic, but it has to be in EU. I would recommend you to do it in EU. Usually, the guideline that the 2020 the law passed, they say you have to do in a country where there is no postgraduate internship. It means Staž po diploma way. But my experience says they are not really fussy about it. For example, Staž po diploma way exists in Sweden, even in Norway, and in a multiple of countries, but they're actually quite relaxed about it, the bureaucrats of the Ministry of Health. So if you completed all the internship in a country in the EU that is not Poland and you did 6 years of med school, you do not need to do the internship at all. Yes, Felix, that's true. But as I said, whole 6th year, because it's only 9 months, and some more month of your summer internship you have to done, or to get recognized. And also in the law it says that has to be recognized through your university, which is automatically is if you have done the summer internship in let's say Germany, your university has to recognize it. Also your whole 6th year has to be recognized. Automatically it happens. I have guided that also. At least I know dozen of people, and all of them have successfully got their internship recognized, or 6th year recognized as an internship. And a lot of them were actually German students, because if they spoke already German, it was easier for them to do it here and to learn the system. It's always better to do that. How long? Yeah, it's a person specific. Good. Yeah, good enough. I always say I know people who have done it in 3-4 months, B2 exam and pass it. Passing the exam is not a problem. Problem is knowing the language. So let's say, safe to say 9 months to year, but some people can also manage in 6 months. Better to come to Germany, do hospitation, get the hang of the language, so you can speak good language. Is C1 qualification from Goethe University, or Goethe is institute, not the university, sufficient, or should I try and get C2 qualified someone in my 6th year of med school? No, you only need B2 to get to be eligible to apply for the license. C1 is usually the medical German exam, which is B2/C1. So they say it's in between, or sometimes they say it's only C1. Nowadays, more and more is only C1. So no, you don't have to do C2. I mean, C2 is, if you know C2, and if you do, I mean, it's for you, good for you. But yeah, it's like quite difficult C2 to get that. It takes time. Do I pay in order to do Staž in Germany, or they pay us like Staž in Poland? Okay, that's a very good question, actually. No, you don't pay in Germany. Either you're doing observership, which is count as an internship. Ministry of Health don't mind which role you are playing, as only the care you are in healthcare setting. Either it is in clinic or in big hospital, small hospital, doesn't matter. Observership, internship, work, not work, There is a loopholes to get money also, but usually I will not count on them. If anything, then you will get paid like interns in Germany, which is not much. It's like 600 euros per month as a allowance. You know, so he said like Samuel is talking about the special recognition. Yeah, it's simple, but it's sometimes some universities doesn't really comply and give you the certificate that says you have done this in Germany, like I mean the Polish universities, and they recognized it. That's the main clause of recognition is this, that it has to be recognized by your home university, which is a Polish university. Specific time, weeks, or subject internal have to be fulfilled. You don't have to spend 60 years in Germany. Just prove that you have 30 weeks of internship outside the Poland. It's perfectly fit if you do during the summer breaks. I would not be that, Samuel, I will be not very sure about this, because recently one person only submitted their 6th year, completely like whole 6th year as a 9-month, and they were asked to submit more years, summer internship as substitute to prove they have done 12 months. So what Minister of Healthcare is, you have to do 12 months, which is not your 6th year. 6th year is only 9 to 10 months. In best case, 10 months only. If you do your internship in Malta, we can recognize it back in Poland. Yeah, exactly. Because Malta is also EU country. If you do an internship, let's say if you do a foundation program, FI1, you can submit this foundation year completion certificate in Poland to get it recognized. It's possible. Or is there in a list of countries which accept internship done there as an alternative of Staż? How do we know if the countries we did our internship is count to this 30 weeks of the work? Yeah, as I explained, 30 weeks, not really 100% sure. There's no 100% surety on 30 weeks. No, there is no website that provides you information about the special regulation. I can help you if you just text me on my Instagram. Instagram is the fastest way to reach me out. Okay. Please, what is the difference between the TELC Medicine B2 C1 and Goethe Medicine B2, and what is better for FSP? TELC Medicine B2 C1 is like FSP, but only recognized by certain states. So I will recommend just doing Goethe or TELC B2, or if you are really confident, then C1, you can do it. TELC on B2 C1 medicine, if you want to do only for the states that recognize it and you are in that state. Or you can do also FSP. FSP is medical Germany exam that I explained before. It can be done by these 3 providers. Is USDCI also? Yeah, it is accepted. There are Austrian language certificate is also accepted, but it's not very often used. That's why I didn't mention it. Usually, also you have to be like very certain centers are there. I mean, some questions are very long. Sweet. I am graduating on September and have been offered a place to do practice. So internship in Germany with English language. I was planning to do in German language course. Currently with the practice, they asked to get a permit to live in Germany by myself. I don't know how to do. Is my Polish residency enough to work there? Yeah, okay. That's also another problem because they don't want to don't want to sponsor you in that case. So tell them to give you a certificate stating you're doing some kind of internship. Usually, you can say you're doing a voluntary internship, which may usually embassies makes problems saying why you're not getting paid for your internship. But if you argue your case, usually it is possible. So if there's give you a document saying you have a place to do a voluntary internship, you can get a visa, and you can stay 3 months, 180 days from 90 days from 180 days in Poland. But although you cannot actually work, observership can be counted as a tourist purposes. But I'm not an immigration lawyer, but as immigration lawyers and so on. Who approves the 30 weeks of internship for the special recognition? So Ministry of Health, Poland. All the internship that is not done in Poland or not done in Polish is recognized by Ministry of Health. It means even ED Staż, 6 months done in Poland is recognized by them. And every other special recognition is done by them also. I think this special recognition has caused a lot of turmoil, and people want to know a lot about this. Yeah. Okay. How long it took me to attain B2 level, and how long to before the exam? Okay. So I don't know if it's 72 days for me. In 72 days, I did the exam and passed the exam. But I was doing very intensive program, so I was spending whole day at the language school. Can we get a website for those agencies? Yeah, just write as the Vermittlung. This this will be uploaded presentation, and also this video. Just go back and search that keyword. There's many of them, and I will not recommend any of them. So it's up to you which one you to use. And be your due diligence. Ask them real questions. What the obligations are. What is because they will ask you to sign a contract. So read the contract also carefully. Tom Hendrik asks, I am obliged to choose one of the hospitals. In most of the cases, yes, because if you don't, they don't get paid, and they in like 9 to 15,000 euros they get paid to placing you. So yeah, they would like to have you in one of the hospital. But some of them actually quite not fixed about it, because some of them actually get sponsored by the German government. So maybe it's possible. Better ask them. And I think you have to also stay 6 to 9 months. There's a condition also how long you have to stay. Suppose I do 6 years partially in Germany and partially in Poland. Does it means now I only have to do remaining months gets recognized? No. Either it doesn't work like that. Either you do full 6th year, or it partially doesn't work. So James asked, can you talk about your first year working in Germany? Were your general assumption correct? Did you feel made the right decision? So first year was very challenging. Coming from Poland, where you have no practice doing anything practical. So example, putting cannulas, peripheral cannulas, knowing antibiotics, what to do, what to not to do, even smallest things like this, taking how to take blood. Because in Germany, blood taking and cannula putting is your job as a doctor. Nurses, most of them, like legally, they are not allowed to do, or this is your responsibility. So this was the biggest learning curve for me. It was very challenging because of the reason that the practical skills and also knowing the language. The language was also one of the pinpoint. But eventually everybody progresses. I did also, and got out of it. Right decision or not? Yeah, I'm quite happy as of now. What future brings, who knows? Does the Indian one-year internship recognizable in Poland? If you have not done in EU and EEA, your internship, this application to get it recognized as an internship will be sent to a panel which sits every 3 months to 6 months. And panel is very picky what rotations you have done and where you have done. So maybe they will only recognize you partially, but it could be possible that they recognize you fully. It's very on them. It depends on them. Did you do Staż and leave the German directly, or like in general? I'm curious about the timeline of the things. So I was working in Germany, but because of Corona, there was special recognition, special laws. But I still left for Germany and did the Staż there, and then came left from Germany, went to Poland, do the Staż, and came back. Back in time, I did the whole try to, because that was the best way to go about it. In that, my opinion, back in time, but you don't have to do that way. Hi, any information on how the interviews would be and how we should prepare? So interviews, they never ask you medical question. Never. Forget about it. So you never have to prepare for a medical interview. Interviews for getting a job are super easy. They ask about you, who you are, and why you want to work there. Simple, very simple. What your ambitions are and what your future plans are. So they want to know if you stay there longer or not. So key point, make it feel, yeah, you are there to stay longer. Simple. The shortage is so bad that all small hospitals, even general hospitals, they will be lucky to have you. As I will go as far as saying that. University hospitals, obviously the competition will be higher. Any big hospital, any tertiary center in the big cities, there'll be huge competition given because everybody want to work there. When to apply for the Staż in Germany, and is it also directly aiming to student asking rotation that request to the some of the universities, some of the hospital in Germany, they used to do these procedures, very few, and they're eager to help you. So they know, so just you email one of the secretary, actually they direct you, and you can do the whole thing just after graduating. So it means 12 months after graduating. So it means 1 year you have to spend here. Yeah, I mean, as a visa and all, you have to get a visa if you want to stay longer than 90 days based on your Polish TRC. Again, I'm not an immigration lawyer. Better to consult immigration lawyer for that, because there's always a loopholes. I mean, for Poland, I think there's immigrant.info.pl. They are actually legit organization. They also help you knowing this kind of loopholes. Does Germany have a shortage of doctor? How many hospitals did you contact to get job? Germany has huge shortage of doctor. I contacted only one for my first job. It was also kind of one of the Polish graduate through that person, and it was quite straightforward procedure. But usually you apply to 30 to 100 places, and then you get reply from, let's say, 10 to 20 places, and you can choose one of them, whichever you feel right is for you. Non-experienced people will get less replies. More experienced people will get more reply. If you have a German experience, you will get more reply. Depends on your language level also. So it depends on that. Pros and cons to Germany to Norway. So I have never been in Norway. I never worked in Norway. I think we have a good video on Norway on YouTube, on ED Council of Poland YouTube channel. Please look at their pros and cons. So maybe Norway, the working hours are more favorable and more family oriented than in Germany, if you are very ambitious. But getting a residency in a very competitive branches is easier in Germany than in Norway, because the shortage is very high. So you can get easily. And also, if you get through this internship hurdle, the biggest hurdle that is, you really don't have to struggle a lot further. So you get directly job and then going forward. For Norway, you have to do LIS1, the list 1. Usually there's a waiting period for it. It could be 6 months to 2 years. Once you get it, then your career forward. So it means in that time, you can also work in the rehab centers, small hospital to make your Norwegian better. So that you can see it like that also. As a working perspective, I think in Norway you don't have any exam. In the end of your training, in Germany you have an exam. So some of you, Yakiv are saying you have to do some extra course in Germany as a dentist. Then in Poland, no, shouldn't be like that. If you have done dentistry in any EU country and you have fulfilled the requirement mentioned in 2005-36 EC guideline, then you never have to bridge any courses whatsoever. It's illegal to even ask you to bridge courses if you fulfill your requirement. It means from Poland, you have done LEK equivalent, LEDK, and Staż in dentistry and have your diploma. If you have these 3 things, you should be able to get automatic recognition. It means no question asked and no need to bridge any missing part. So if someone is asking, they're illegal, hire a lawyer, sue them. In Germany, at least you can sue them, and even if you're a foreigner, it has no repercussions. Your rights, you are quite protected. I'm currently, Ruby says, I'm currently 5th year in UMV, Austin, that I would like to go to Germany as soon as I graduate. Good luck, try that. So do your language now, start early, it's better. How about Erasmus training in Germany? Would it be helpful when applying? I think it would be helpful, yeah, because it's still a German experience. And usually Erasmus, if you want to do in Germany, you need to know German on somewhat level. Your university obviously checks it. Your home university checks your German level. It would be somewhat favorable, especially getting a job in university hospitals. If I perform my Staż in Germany, where do I go with the Staż certificate? Do I have to travel back to Poland? If you do a Staż in Germany, you get a certificate saying either from each department or the community certificate saying you have done this, or you have done just saying from 1st of January till 31st of December, you have done this many months in hospital, doesn't matter which department. You submit this certificate with your diploma, either your passport or your national ID, to the Ministry of Health and asking to get it recognized. And then eventually they send you per email. Nowadays, they're sending also per email, electronically signed copy, and also per post. You don't have to be in Poland. You can send it all. You can do it all through post, being in non-EU country. Being in EU country. Non-EU country, I'm not sure how it is with them, but EU country it works. Are the taxes fixed, or they have states for how much income ranging and calculation? So taxes, is national taxes are there, so it's quite fixed. So simple counting is this: 40% of your salaries will be going to literal taxes, your pension insurance, your medical insurance, your being unemployment insurance, old age insurance. So this is different kind of insurances and taxes. So it's all combined is around 40-ish%, 38 to 42%. Depends on your salary. The more salary you have, the higher the tax slab is. You don't have to worry about it. The money you get is already taxed. You don't have to file for tax return, but I recommend filing for tax return because you always get some tax refund. Doesn't matter if you have done anything or not. There's always a way to get some tax returns back. So for 38 to 42%, and you can check it. There's some website called like a Brutto Netto calculator. So like a salary calculator in Germany, and you can check that. Usually it's like you also have a church tax if you are in church. But when you are doing a registration as a person who is living in Germany, you can choose to say you don't have a affiliation with any church, and then you don't have to pay the church tax. It's like very minor amount, but a lot of people actually don't like it. And it depends on your religious status also. Can we work more than 40 to 42 hours, and how are we paid for that? Yes, you can obviously work. You work daily more than that time. In Germany, there is, and also in Europe, there is a regulation that says you cannot work more than 10 hours. So normally you work 8.5 hours in Germany. In Germany, the half an hour that is your break is not paid. It means 8 hours plus half an hour. You cannot work more than 10 hours in Germany. It means 10 hours working and 45 minutes is a break. So it means 10 hours, 45 minutes. You cannot work more than that. If your workers is allowing you to work more than that and is tolerating, they can get fined. In reality, how true it is, I don't know. Really have seen anything happening. If you work, usually most of the places pay you your overtime for this, or give you equivalent free time. So you can take 3 days after having, let's say, 8 hours of overtime. Someone graduated in 2022 and asking for timeline. So if you're going to graduate in 2022, it's 2024. Let's say you start as Staż right now. By Staż, you are doing a German language. So that takes 6 months, getting recognized 2 months. So let's say 8 to 9 months to do Staż and your language. And after that, you just move to Germany and apply for it. License depends on the state. Some takes 2 months, some takes a year. So it depends on the state. And then once you get the license, you can start it literally in 1 month. I'm definitely sure you can get it work in 1 month. Even some people can work get work in a few weeks. Someone saying watching Dr. House in German is a good practice. Not bad idea. Yeah, there's a law. Samuel is mentioning opt-out regulations, but do not forget, Samuel, opt-out regulation doesn't say you can work unlimited amount of time. So without opt-out regulation, you're only allowed to work 48 hours. With signing opt-out, it means you are opting out from this regulation. Is only also till 56, nothing more than 56. Still after 56 is illegal. So, and also this is average. So it's not like every week, it's average of 1 year usually. Someone asking about Staż again. Seems like a very hot topic and very confusing topic also for a lot of people. Saying again, how you have to arrange the internship. I say, in my personal experience, you can do whatever you like. Internal medicine, surgery, pediatrics, whatever. It has to be a medical setting. But if you want to be safe, follow the Polish way to do it, which is you can find it in a Ministry of Health website now. So do you need any specific paper to get it recognized from university? No. First, obviously, one certificate will be given from the work or the hospital that you did your 6th year, and also summer internship that obviously you have it. And one university will say you did this in Germany, or for example in Norway, or it doesn't matter which country, and they also recognized it. It's very easy paper. Universities should issue you. I mean, they are supposed to issue. Do we need to legalize the Polish diploma and Staż to get recognized for German Medical Council? Where do we do legalization? Yeah, okay, that's very good point actually. That someone brought it up. So someone asking about either do you have to do apostille or legalization? So Polish diploma, some states say no, some states say yes. but not legalization, only apostille. So better to just do it. Once you have a LEC, Staż, and diploma, and some of them even asking to get a letter from the Medical Supreme Council, which says you have all these three things and you're allowed to get, you don't have to get a license in Poland. It says only you are allowed, you are qualified to get a license in Poland, which what also this automatic regulation says that what you need. So you don't have to be like you don't have to be licensed in Poland per se. You just have to be allowed to do a license. So this is, you call this certificate is EU conformity certificate issued by NIL, Supreme Medical Council or Chamber of Poland, which is in Warsaw. You can email them. There is a page on NIL website which says which email address is for that. Charlie is talking about also this max allowed work per day. Personal experience, we work much more than that. But that's my personal experience. Everybody has their own. And explaining the reasons is also legally saying it's not your job. But yeah, every hospital asks you to explain. Some hospitals don't care because they're so short staffed. They know you will be staying and they don't mind. So it depends on the hospital to hospital. Someone's saying about German law doesn't allow more than 40 per week. No, it does allow, as I explained, how much it is and how much it not. Opt-out allows you more than 48 hours on average, 256 hours. Without opt-out is only 48 hours. Per day is anyways is more, but per day you're not allowed to work more than 10 hours 45 minutes. From that 45 minutes are break. How many U card is granted for? Up to 5, 4, 5, doesn't really matter. It depends on your contract. While I'm waiting for approbation from the Bundesland, can I work in the meantime as a doctor and earn money? No, you cannot. Only you can earn money if you have a Berufserlaubnis, which is temporary license. Approbation is permanent, temporary, and if you have temporary, I mean, there's very few cases you can get temporary license. Nowadays, you can't get it. Before, back in time, used to be a 2 states or 3 states we used to give to Polish graduates to do the internship. Now they are not giving it. Any state that you would recommend less processing time? Yeah, I do recommend few states, but please ask me. Please ask me on the Instagram a list of them that I should recommend. But that also depends on your personal situation. So ask what you are comfortable with and which one you are not comfortable with. What are the longest shift you are expected to work in Germany? 24 hours longer than that. In European Union, you cannot work more than 24 hours. You're not allowed to legally, and you cannot work. So 24 hours is the maximum you can work. After that, the European law working timeline actually kicks in. Someone asks, can you send the information about the paper which states our eligibility to have a license in Poland for Germany? No, you do not need. No, you do not need license, as I said, from Poland, but I can write in a chat what you need. EU conformity certificate. The EU conformity certificate is called. It's not a license. It just states you have fulfilled all the 3 requirements which should be allowed, which allows you to be licensed or to be eligible to be licensed in Poland. Sometimes they ask. Some of them don't ask. So some of the states don't ask. Some of the states do ask. Some of the very notorious about it in Germany, because the federal structure, they could be legally asked, they could ask it legally, but it's very useless to even ask, because it just put a lot of stress on you. It takes 1 month to get it, and also you have to pay for it like 80 to 120 zloty. If you get from Berlin, will you be able to work in all the places? Okay, German license doesn't matter where you get, which state you gives you. With that license, you can work anywhere in Germany. Yes, the license is just issued by the state, but that does not bind you to that state. So just go to whatever the easiest state is and fastest state is, get the license there and move to the whatever state you like, and wherever you find the job also, because the bigger city it's not easy to get in the bigger city jobs. I think we are done with the questions. Samuel has said something outside the comment, does not. So the 30 weeks agreement, as long as you have the 30 weeks and 20. Samuel, reach out to me on Instagram or Facebook or per email. Explain me on the 30 weeks, because as soon as last week, I have a applicant who went through the process and he has to prove whole year. And they actually asked again. So explain me what you mean by 30 weeks in the chat. So most probably I will also get informed. Maybe you have a different experience. Thank you so much. I think that's all for today.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, and thank you, Dr. Fasi, for actually helping out all the students who were interested in going to Germany and are planning to go as well. And for any questions, you can reach out to Dr. Fasi on Instagram. I have sent his Instagram ID in the chat. And I would also like to request everyone to follow SASS GUMED on Instagram so that you can actually follow up to the links to the recordings, which will be up in about 15 days. And the link to the presentation will be up by tomorrow evening. And thank you so much for joining us. And I hope to see you all in the next one.
Please tell us what you liked or disliked about the video and ask any questions in the comments. If this video is useful, please give it a like. All links discussed in the video can be found in the description, and please use those links and subscribe to the channel to support us so we can keep producing content. Thank you, and maybe watch another video.